your point about inflation, Ford had a comment about it, and they said it feels like it's all due to a lot of one-timers as the economy comes out of lockdown. We're going to get some auto sales numbers, but certainly, I mean, look at Ferrari today. Race is down pre-market, and a lot surrounding the concerns that you're talking about today.
Look, there's no doubt about it that there's inflation. No one's denying it. I mean, I had Nucor on. Look at that stock. I mean, look at Cleveland Cliffs. They renamed. They went back to the old name. I mean, these guys are raising prices, and they have the lowest costs in the world. We have the lowest iron in the world. We have the lowest coking. We have the lowest scrap. So those guys are just coining money. If you want a group where the margins are expanding radically, and not just because they're able to pass on price increases, but because the costs are going down, then it's just the steals. But I don't want to say, Carl, that you have to abandon this market. I look at what happened last week with the drugs. They collapsed. David, the drug stocks collapsed.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there's buyers everywhere.
Well, but you were talking at the end of Squawk Box about Pfizer's performance this morning after reporting earnings and not being what you thought it might be.
The stock will go down. You have to buy it. I mean, the amount of money that Pfizer's making. Remember, Pfizer does have a patent cliff. A lot of people feel that Pfizer's not going to be able to bridge it.
Right.
But I looked at those numbers today. Frank D'Amelio, he's a fantastic...
Long-time CFO there.
Long time. Oh, that always sounds so good.
Yeah.
Is able to craft a story of just endless buybacks. Mm-hmm. Endless buybacks.
And they did come in above, obviously, what was estimated. Well above.
Well
above. And as you just saw, 12 to 15-year-olds may soon be able to get vaccinated.
Will they?
The Pfizer vaccine.
Will they? There's a cohort that might not want to. How about the way Danny Meyer did not say you must?
I would want my younger one to get, why
There's
not?
a lot of people who are very proud of not getting vaccinated when you move out of the New York City area.
Is that true?
Pride.
There's so many different things. We've got people who are proud of that. Meanwhile, in New York, 80% of the people I count on the street are still wearing a mask outside, which I also find somewhat.
Can I say?
Somewhat
there's
strange.
Still people who are worried.
I think they must like wearing masks. Maybe people enjoy wearing masks.
Maybe that's it.
As the CDC said, of course, you don't have to if you've been vaccinated. And as we all know, there's no evidence whatsoever that you can transmit the virus by walking past somebody on the street for that millisecond.
No, it's all inside.
And yet, you walk around. I was in L.A., too. Everybody there wearing a mask also. So you got people who don't want to be vaccinated, and then you got people who don't seem to want to get back to any sort of sense of normalcy.
Correct.
Maybe?
But Danny Meyer did not say, listen, if you work at our restaurants, you must be vaccinated. And yet I would presume that the patrons believe, Carl, I think patrons believe that your server's vaccinated or had COVID and therefore didn't need to be vaccinated. That's another.
Well, your server's always wearing a mask regardless. Obviously, You're inside as they should be.
Right.
Very different. But, Jim, New York is fully reopening pretty soon, or at least the capacity constraints are going up.
70, but then going all the way up.
Then we get back to this, Carl, this subject we've talked a great deal about is when are people going to return to the office in a real way? Goldman Sachs may want them back by June. I think a lot of them, though, all right, you come back by June, and then if you're not back by September, we're going to have an issue. But there you see it. I mean, office space leasing is falling. We continue to question just how much space will really be taken. New space, even what it will be, and obviously what will be occupied by companies that are already paying for enormous amounts of space for which their employees are not showing up at this point.
Right. I do think, Carl, that the big issue here, David Solomon has to do what he has to do right now. Lay down the law before, in the next 3 weeks, there's an exodus to the Hamptons.
I think they're doing that.
Yeah,
I think
he's laying down the law.
CEO Goldman Sachs, and I think, by the way, that's not just him. It's going to be
Jamie
others
Dimon.
as well. Jamie Dimon. It's any number of those who run these large organizations and financial services do want people coming back. But you have to say June with the expectation that you get to September. If people still aren't coming back, then you have a much more serious conversation.
The moment they come back, Carl, the moment they come back, the restaurants spring up, the retailers spring up. They got to come back.
Well, that's why Danny was so excited to see that headline about Goldman this morning. Jamie Dimon is talking to the Journal this morning at the CEO Council, and he says that he sees limits to remote work, guys. Doesn't work great for young people, he says. People like to hustle. Brainstorming suffers. Company culture suffers. Echoes of what he's already talked about. But it's clear at least the large banks in Manhattan, David, I just don't see them turning tail at this point.
No, I think you're right. I don't think they will. And I think they want their people. And again, it does come back to, you want to bring in a new class of younger people. law firms, we don't talk a lot about law firms.
No, we don't.
That's a more interesting subject. There are most of the partners at these law firms, they never want to come back.
No, and that's a Zoom operation.
Yeah. Now, you've got an associate class. You need to create culture there, but they occupy an awful lot of space in New York. We rarely ever talk about them. I don't know when we'll actually see all them come back.
It's much easier to do. I mean, those people do not have to have contact.
No.
Send me your brief.
Yep. Send me your brief.
So it's different.
But it does, Carl, get back to this idea of creating culture, and particularly for younger people who you could argue would want to be in the office and need to get a sense for how the place actually works, even if they've been Zooming with people for a year who they have never even met in person.
I mean, Carl, when you go to Silicon Valley, I mean, there is no Silicon Valley. I mean, these people are all WFH, and they love to call it WFH, but they never. Is it so? WFH is just as easy to say as work from home, right? It's all syllable-wise?
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.